Page 88, Toccatina, or Toccatina, depending on what country you're from. A toccata is a touch piece. We have sonatas and toccatas and things like that. Toccata is a touch piece, a lot of fingery stuff or wrist stuff going on. A toccatina is just a small toccata. So a lot of wrist stuff or fingery stuff going on. It's not like a nocturne where it's smooth and you're dreamy and puts you to sleep. No. So I'll go through the process and let's see what we end up with. Now look it over, I see it's 2 pages of music long. Now there is a DC Alfini, so it's going to be longer than that, but I only have 2 pages of music to learn, and that's what I'm after. The clef signs are treble and bass clef, at least to start they are. There's 1 flat in the key signature, I can't talk yet. So it's either in F major or D minor. I can go to the end, that fine, where that is at measure 20, and you end in there. And then on a D, I'm guessing it's in D minor then. D. Of course, as we play it, we'll be able to hear, is it D minor or F major? Because the harmonies sound different. And cut time, or all a brief. I don't know that we've had this before, so let's talk about it. You have had common time is 4/4. This is cut time, which is 2/2. We just cut everything in half. So a quarter note, instead of getting a beat, it now gets half a beat. It's like an 1/8 note. So it's 1N, 2N, 1N, 2N on these quarter notes. Now, when I study a piece that's in cut time, any piece that's in cut time, I pretend, because I like to pretend, that it's in 4/4 time. Because it's easy to go back and forth between 4/4 time and 2/2 time. But it's just easier to figure out the rhythm if I can let the quarter note have the beat. So I'll pretend it's in 4/4 time, and then when we get to the part of the process where we need to put it up to speed, then I'll put it in cut time. So I'm going to talk about this as though it's in 4/4 time at first. Here, because of the way it's written, it's mainly one hand. I'm going to take both hands at the same time, but you're welcome to do just one hand at a time at first. All we're after is the notes and the rhythms. So we're starting here, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh, what's going on in measure 3? We got this. Using 1, 3 in all of these. My opinion, that's a really bad fingering. That is not the fingering I would typically use for this pattern. However, it's good practice, so I'm just going to stick with it. Because I typically, in my videos, I change fingerings a lot. But this, we'll just stick with it. It's 1, 3 in each. I'm going up 1 note, down. And again, the technique I use for this kind of thing, when I have to play multiple notes at a time, but it's in the same pattern, the same position, sort of, is I only aim 1 note, 1 finger, and I'll let the others go along. And as long as I'm flexing at the wrist, I can stay loose. If I start keeping the wrist straight, I'll tense up because I want to hold that position. I don't want to move these fingers. I got to be right here. So flex at the wrist when you do this, and just hear which finger you aim is up to you. I typically will aim the melody note, whatever it is, but you should be able to aim either finger. So here it is. If I aim the middle finger, I'm just going to let the thumb go long. I'm focusing on the middle finger, but it's good to focus on the thumb too. And then let the middle finger go long. Just remember to flex at the wrist, and you don't go that fast. I've been doing this a million years, so it's a little easier. And that's what we're going to do here. So it's back to this. Rest, and then we're down here. So we changed positions. Well, while the right hand's playing, the left hand can come down any time. And then as the left hand plays, the right hand come down again. And then measure 8 or 9, you go back up. You're just going back up. And I like to do this one hand at a time when I move. So I generally will do it that way if I can. And you're doing it right before you need it. Be there before you need to play it if possible here. And you can in this piece. Now in measure 13 you're here, and then measure 15 it's here. I went from here to here. I'm not doing this. You can do 1, 3. The problem is it puts you up here because of the thumb. We like to stay out here, so we just do that here. So it's On measure 19, 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and the left hand has to come down. Well, you got rest, you got time, just make sure it's there. So it's 1, as I'm playing this, I get the left hand where it goes, and here I can come up or I can reach up, either way. Don't care. I typically reach because this octave in piano playing, an octave, letter to letter, you get a lot, and eventually you get the feel of that, what that octave feels like. You don't even have to look. So I could reach up and play it that way, or I could move. And then measure 21, I got to be back down here to go on. Watch out for the rhythm here. Again, measure 21. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're playing on 1 and 3 here. Then here. Okay. Last line up there is measure what? 33. Fourth finger. Reach. And then come down here. And then the DC sends you back to the beginning. So you can get your right hand in ready to go, so you can focus on more on the left. Of course, you got 3 beats there to come back. So once I have the hands and the rhythms and the fingering and all that worked out, then I go back over it slowly and get rid of the hesitations. So we're going to pretend we did that. And then I add in the articulation. And these are staccatos, short staccatos, flexing at the wrist. I'm just here. I'm on the key and I'm bouncing off. Now this, you don't have time to put your hand on the key on each one. You're doing this. But keep it a small motion. Don't go way up here, because then you start missing notes. That's just a bunch of extra motion. No, just here. You're going to bump, 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 bump. Don't use the whole arm to do this either. It's got to be the wrist, just here. So that half note's not staccato. Here. Now on measure 20, you get a staccato and an accent. So you play it staccato with a little louder. Isn't that nice? Okay. So then we do the articulation. Once that's done, I think about the dynamics. The melody here is both hands. So it's going to be all the same. MF, whatever you think sort of loud is. Somewhere in there, I don't know. Then on measure 13, you have a P for piano. Now you're soft. And then measure 14, 14, you have that crescendo molto. Molto. Molto means a lot, a bunch. So we're going to crescendo a bunch. Well, I don't know. We're going to crescendo anyway. You got to look ahead and see how much we're going to crescendo and where and how long does the crescendo last and all that. We look at measure 20. That's where it ends eventually, and that is forte with an accent, which makes it fortissimo or very loud. We're going to go up to there. So basically, you're going to take your time and you're gradually going to loud. Well, if you don't plan this out, you'll be loud by measure 16 or so. You'll be loud immediately. See, I'm loud already, and I got another 3 measures to go. So we have to plan it out. You stretch it out. So I'm going to take groups of notes together. And how much I include in each group depends on the music. Here I see it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 measures to get louder. So maybe it's every couple of measures I get just a hair louder. So in measure 14, I'm staying soft. Then I get a little louder for measure 16 and 17. And measure 18, go up a little louder more. Now. So it's like every couple of measures I went just a little bit. So the crescendo lasts a little longer. So measure 13 was that. Boom. Let the wrist claps on this very loud note on measure 20. Don't bang it. Let the wrist claps a little bit. Boom. You don't need to come down and hit it. You can be on the key. You just go down very quickly with a lot of weight and get off of it because it's staccato. Let the wrist claps. And you can, yeah, it'll be fine. Then measure 21, all of a sudden, subito means suddenly. You're soft. So, whatever you think soft is. Measure 25, go up a little bit to moderately soft. Measure 29, go up a little more to moderately loud. Measure 33, you're loud, going up to fortissimo. Well, here, I got the wrong note. So from measure 21 to the bottom of the page, we had one long crescendo. But instead of just using the word crescendo, now they've written it out for you to be at this loudness at this spot. So we could have done that before. Sometimes I do one way, sometimes another, and sometimes I'll write it in the music to remind me. At this point, I only want to be sort of soft or sort of loud or whatever. Two different ways of doing the same thing. Because here we have 4 lines of crescendo. It's a lot of lines, so it's nice when they write out the thing and tell you, okay, now it's time to go up a little bit. Now I'll go up a little more, now a little more, and then I'll think about the speed. And this is where I got to put it back and cut time, because I don't need to count it anymore. I can feel the rhythm now. So now it's 1, 2, 1, 2. There's a, the left hand's playing on them. There. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, it says fast. It needs to be accurate, in my opinion. Teachers don't agree on this. Some teachers say, don't worry if you make a few mistakes here and there, just do it fast. Other teachers, like me, say, no, accuracy is more important than speed. I want it correct. So your fast and my fast and somebody else's fast can all be different, but it's got to be accurate. So what can you do? Find the hardest part, the passage, wherever it is. Those, how fast can you play those accurately? And that's going to be your fast for now. As you get better with piano, come back and play these pieces again and again for fun, I hope. You'll play them faster then and better. It's okay. So it'll be different speed for everybody. Now the DC al fine, remember that at the bottom. DC means go back to the beginning, and the fine is at the end there, measure 20. Now I tend to want to, on these like measure 3, I put in a swell on those. Doesn't say to, but I felt it, so I did. It's interpretation. And cut time, the natural accent is the first beat of the measure. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Please don't copy me. You don't have to take it at that speed. You can play around with the dynamics a little bit. You can feel it. Let's play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do louds and softs because we're not performing it. We're checking notes and rhythms. I will do the staccatos, but I'm going to make my staccatos a little longer so you have more time to hear the notes. I'm not going to play short staccatos. They're going to be a little longer. And I'm going to play this in 4/4 time, so a quarter note gets a count. And I'll give us 4 quarter notes to come in. 1, 2, ready, go. One, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Go on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. At the beginning. 2, 3. Rest. 1, 2, 3. Rest. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.